Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about 6 moments in Doctor Who that I just love. Not even 6 full scenes, just little tiny moments. Little moments in great scenes that are kind of the cherry on the top of the scene. The scene is already great, but it's just that little extra cherry on the top, the kind of chef's kiss that just makes it perfect, that I absolutely adore. 6 itty bitty little things that I always notice and that I really enjoy. And we're going to start off with number 1, which is in Robot, right after, Tom, of course, Tom is the Doctor. It's when that scene when Tom is changing outfits and he's changing into his infamous scarf outfit. When you first see him and he's in kind of the Viking-looking outfit, you see the Brigadier walk in and see his Viking outfit, and he's like, "Oh, you've changed." And the Doctor's like, "Not again." Because he thinks he means he's regenerated, he's changed his face. I just love the way Tom Baker does that. And he comes back with it so fast that, "Oh, not again." And how he turns away, like to go look at the mirror to see what the new face looks like. The way he says it, like, "What, again, already? Oh, I just went through this." I love that. "Oh, you've changed." "Oh, not again." I really love that. That whole scene is funny. I love that scene. That scene when he's changing his outfits and he's just in the Viking outfit like it's common day. That scene's funny, but that one little line, that "not again" bit, and the way he turns away, both of those things, the line itself and how he turns to go look at the mirror, perfect. Perfect. I love that. It's very much in character with the Fourth Doctor, and I love just how quickly the Fourth Doctor found his footing and getting in character. I love that. Next on the list is the 10th Doctor from the Sontaran two-parter in Series 4. And I like that little bit, which there's no reason for it to be there, but I love it. When Tennant has on the gas mask and he's looking at the other soldier, "Are you my mummy?" I just love that little line when he puts on the gas mask and says, "Are you my mummy?" There's no reason for it to be there. You figure it'd end up on the cutting room floor. But it's hilarious because it's just out of the blue. It's just there. The person he's talking to obviously wouldn't get it, but it's hilarious to me. I like it. It's just a little thing I take note of, and I'm like, did they just do that? Of course, referencing the Empty Child two-parter, because he has the gas mask, the Kill War, the gas mask. I don't know. I think it's funny. The first time I saw it, I laughed. I couldn't believe they did it. I just thought it was a nice little thing since they had gas masks going on. It was a nice little connect. I like when Doctor Who does little things like that, and it amused me. Keeping in that, number 3 is from Mummy on the Orient Express, right at the end when Capaldi is confronting the mummy. He's like, "Hello, I will be your victim from this evening. I will be your victim for..." Give me a second, I can't do this really quick. "Hello, I will be your victim for this evening. Are you my mummy?" I love that. The way he says that. "Hello, I will be your victim for this evening. Are you my mummy?" How he throws it in. And again, that's a pun on words, of course, with mommy and mummy being so similar, especially since the child says mummy and not mummy, because that's how a child says mommy sometimes, and mummy. And it fits with mummy. I like that. I like that, again, that kind of running joke, especially with it happening with Tennant and Capaldi. It almost becomes a running joke, just for different reasons. And I like that. I enjoy that, with especially since Capaldi's the more serious Doctor, especially in Series 8. So to see him making kind of an inside joke to himself, I like that. And he does that a little bit. He's also actually kind of humorous in Flatline as well, but that's another story. He has some stuff he does in Flatline I like. But he is humorous sometimes in Series 8, including the Robin Hood episode. But I just like that little touch in here. "Are you my mummy?" Because I wouldn't have thought to do that. And the first time I saw it, when he said it, I'm like, that's hilarious. I love that. Especially in a very serious moment in the episode. It just gives me a chuckle. It's a really good scene in and of itself. I love that episode as a whole. Mummy on the Orient Express is my favorite Series 8 episode. But it adds a little humor to it, and I love that. Every time I watch that episode, I enjoy that line. Number 4 on the list is going back to the Fourth Doctor. And I love, at the end of Robot, we're back at Robot again. I love Robot. When the Doctor and Sarah are getting ready to go in the TARDIS and Harry walks in, and the Doctor, of course, offers him a jelly baby, and Harry takes a bite of it, and he criticizes the TARDIS. "You can't just go around hopping around in dimensions, Doctor." And the doctor's like, "What, can't I? What do you mean I can't?" And I can't remember exactly what he says, but I love that he reaches out and grabs the jelly baby back from Harry and tosses it back in the bag. The fact that he does that while kind of being offended, how dare Harry insult his TARDIS. Don't be offended about it, old girl. I love that he reaches back and grabs the jelly baby and tosses it in. Kind of offended, how dare you. But what really amuses me even more is that it's half a jelly baby, because Harry has already taken a bite of the jelly baby, so he's actually grabbing half of the jelly baby that Harry's already bitten into and tossing it back in the bag. And I don't know why, but that just makes it so much funnier to me. Again, I love that whole scene. That scene is great. That's the scene where we get our very first "Would you like a jelly baby?" from Tom, and of course that's iconic. I love that. And then I love a little later in the conversation when Harry's like, "Well, if it'll make you feel any better, Doctor." "Oh, it would make me feel a lot better." I love the way Tom Baker says that line with that shit-eating grin on his face. Like, "Oh, it would make me feel a lot better." I love that. It's hilarious. But just that little cherry on the top for me is him grabbing the jelly baby back out of Harry's hand, the half a jelly baby, tossing it back in the bag in kind of an indignant fashion. I don't know why, but I just love that. I think that's hilarious, and it's that little cherry on the top for the scene to me, and I enjoy it. And the fifth one on the list, sticking with the Fourth Doctor. I just love the Fourth Doctor. This one is actually from Android Invasion, which is probably very surprising for Ham. But if I had to pick my favorite actual scene from it, off the top of my head, not having it as fresh in my mind, it's, I think, the first time the Doctor meets the guy with the eye patch when he's in the Brigadier's office. And he's holding a newspaper, and then the guy's like, "All right, Doctor, hold up your hands." And turn around, and the Doctor turns around, and he's still holding the newspaper up like this. And while the guy is talking to him and Tom is talking back, he's still got the newspaper in front of his face. So he's basically, "All right, Doctor, hold up your hands and turn around." And they have a conversation like this, and he's just holding it up and talking through it. And don't get me wrong, the conversation itself is actually pretty funny. Tom has some really funny lines there. Like at one point, the guy with the eye patch says something threatening, and the Doctor's like, "That's the nicest thing anyone said to me since I got here. I want to compliment the hospitality," or something to that effect. I don't know. But it's funny. But it's the fact, the conversation would be funny regardless. But I love the fact, and all of these Tom Baker moments I've talked about, there are all these kind of moments where I wonder if it's in the script for that, or if it's just something Tom Baker improvised and did. Because it strikes me as very Tom Baker things to do. I just love the fact that he's talking with it, still with it up like that. Because it's a very Fourth Doctor thing to do. It's a very Tom Baker thing to do. And it's those little things like that that just make the Fourth Doctor my favorite Doctor. I love that. It's my favorite scene, I think, in Android Invasion. And I remember last time I was doing a watch through of it, when I got done watching that scene, I had to rewind it and watch it again because I was just laughing so hard. I don't know why that just adds so much to it, but the fact he's just sitting there, I adore that. I absolutely love that. It's very in character for the Doctor. And the last one on the list is the 11th Doctor, actually. We're going in to finish it off with some Modern Who, and I like in Modern Who, in the Bells of St. John, when the Doctor and Clara are outside partway through the episode, a good ways through the episode, and she's sitting down on the computer, and he's standing up talking to her. It's before he goes back into the room for a minute. And he talks about, "Well, you're young. Shouldn't you be out doing, young people things?" And young people think, "Oh, like dancing. Shouldn't you go out, dancing or something?" And she's like, "What, dancing with you? Down, boy." And he's like, "No." One, that scene's funny. I like kind of the flirtatious nature they have. I don't normally like that in Doctor Who, but I think Matt and Jenna have such good chemistry that I really love the little flirtatious thing that his Doctor and her have. So I like that. I just enjoy that. "Well, dance with you, down boy." No. But the little extra part on that for me is that when he's talking about dancing, he's doing this like stereotypical disco thing, like Saturday Night Fever or whatever it is with John Travolta. and he's doing that, and it looks awful. It looks terrible. But it fits to me because, unlike some of the other doctors, some of the doctors are great dancers, like Eccleston, but the 11th Doctor is a terrible dancer. I mean, we've seen him dance on other occasions when he's doing his giraffe, that little giraffe thing he does. The 11th Doctor is just a terrible dancer, from what we've seen at least. So it makes sense that when he's talking about dancing, he would go into this. It looks awful. It looks terrible. But because of that, I think it's hilarious. And it just gives, again, that scene that extra little cherry on the top. It's that little moment in the scene that just pushes it from really good to absolutely hilarious. And again, I don't know if Matt Smith improvised that or if that was part of it. You know, if they just said do a dance there and he was like, you know, because it's funny to me. It is. It's a funny scene that just makes even funnier. So that is 6 small moments in 6 good scenes of Doctor Who that they're just the cherry on the top, the chef's kiss that I really like. I'd like to know what you think of those scenes and those moments, and perhaps maybe 5 or 6 moments like that you really like, that there's just this one little thing that really perfects the scene to you, and it's just that finishing touch it needs. So comment down below and let me know, because I always enjoy hearing from you guys. Other things to do while you're here. If you like my channel and haven't subscribed yet, I would, like you to go ahead and do that. That helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and helps me grow the channel. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, there's a lot of things I want to do with the channel that'll unlock, so I'm really looking forward to getting there eventually. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me that way. There's a link to that down in the description below. I have a P.O. box if you would like to send me anything. There's a link to my Amazon wish list down in the description as well, and also a link to my Amazon UK wish list. But most importantly, thank you for watching.